Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Behind the Shades. I am your host, Terraine, and remember to subscribe and share this interview because today, ladies and gentlemen, this is a follow up to a fantastic live that I had where we talked about body dysmorphia, body transformation, and figuring out how to date when your body goes from you being a little bit bigger to now you're a little bit slimmer and perhaps sexier, maybe. But remember, sexy is a feeling. So, what we talked about is the many changes that people go through when it comes to their body because body dysmorphia is something that impacts a lot of people. But the thing is, it impacts younger girls a lot more, statistically speaking, than boys. But one thing that impacts a lot of people is the way that they view themselves and the emotional attachment that they have to their bodies. So, for example, one thing that came up is that when you're a bigger person, let's say 300 pounds, and you start to lose the weight, you start to feel a little bit sexy, and you're like, okay, I think I'm in a good mood. And you start to shimmy a little bit more, and you start to get attention from the opposite sex, right? So a lot of girls, when they start to lose the weight and the men or the young men that maybe weren't paying attention to them to before are starting to look at them and be like, okay, this is someone that I can get with. What we don't talk about is that some people fall into the trap of trying to satisfy that curiosity sexually. They don't set proper boundaries because just last year, they were not getting this attention. And a lot of guys, what they do is young men, when they're coming up, they're skinny, they're 100 pounds, 110 pounds. They start to go to the gym, right? They start to lift weights. They start to feel like Hercules. They're like Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger in the gym. Then all of a sudden, the girls start to look at them a little bit differently. They have stardust in their eyes and they're like, okay, I see you over there flexing your biceps because the shirts don't fit anymore. The pants get a little bit tighter and all this other stuff. And then the women who are not used to this type of attention, the men who don't know what to do with this type of attention, each and every one of them, they get lost. And this is something that a lot of us don't speak about. We don't speak about the emotional and the mental side of weight loss. It's good from a physical standpoint, like you probably feel better, you probably are healthier, but there's a trap that some of us fall into. We start to think that the energy, attention, and affirmation that some people are starting to give us are good, when in a lot of ways, they're bad. We don't realize how toxic this mindset can be because we're not used to other people making us feel good, or at least attempting to make us feel good. Many times we're told that we're ugly, we're fat, we're too skinny, we will never find someone because of the way we look. Now that we've improved the way that we look, we're starting to get people outside of those who are saying these things, who are saying that you're beautiful, you're hot, you're handsome. I want to go out with you. What are you saying Friday? It's a slow Thursday, and they're willing to give you all the type of attention that you maybe always wanted to get, but you're too big. Some people found you too unattractive. It was, you were whatever it is that they used to say you were back then. But back then they didn't want you. Now you're hot. They're all on you. Shout out to Mike Jones because he was dropping knowledge back then. So what do you do in that situation? Do you just go out with them for wham, bam, thank you, ma'am? Or do you realize that the attention they're giving you is tied to your physical appearance, and your physical appearance is something that you just became comfortable with, something that you just achieved? The answer to that is you need to set boundaries, not only for yourself, but for others. You need to understand that your personality was always the same, despite what your looks have changed or have become. You may be more confident, you may believe in yourself more, but you're still a nice person, regardless of your size. You're still an ambitious and happy man, regardless of your size. You need to understand and remove the people that are only going to use you for your body now that you've changed it. Don't become the person that relies only on your looks, because remember, when people are calling you fat, skinny, and ugly, those same people weren't paying you any attention. Those people who were deemed beautiful, slim, and healthy, maybe those are the ones who were making fun of you as well. Don't become what you used to not like. And I think that is something that we need to talk about more. Become something better. As your body improves and you become a better version of yourself, make sure that not only are you making changes physically, making changes mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And you should be fine.